Chicago's ex-top cop busts Governor J.B. Pritzker for ironic safe neighborhood video. Governor goes in, everything's great. Yeah, that's after ICE has been going into this neighborhood since January and cleaning things up. So J.B. Pritzker, the genius that he is, billionaire governor of Illinois, is basically just saying, hey, ICE cleaned this up for us, and taking credit for something that he had nothing to do with. In fact, he wants ICE out of there. Make that make sense. Ironic? Yes. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Governor J.B. Pritzker here. I'm here in Little Village, a beautiful part of the city. Was able to just walk down the street and say hello to some of the small business owners and the patrons in those small businesses. Just a lovely day here. No emergency. So Donald Trump understands no emergency in the city of Chicago to send troops in. But I know people are very afraid because ICE officials, ICE officers are planning to come here to Little Village. And I just want people to know that we're doing everything we can in the state and in the city to keep you safe. We'll make sure and protect your rights, but you need to know your rights and make sure that you understand that the ICE officials
so full of nonsense.
Away, but make sure you stay safe. All right, we're thinking of you and doing everything we can to protect you.
And he's talking about the criminal illegals. He's talking about criminal illegals because that is who ICE is deporting. So if you want criminal illegals, which Chicago, by and large, does not want, because those are resources that are being sucked up by their taxpayers' dollars that should go to the local community. And they have been getting that. So instead, you've got Knucklehead Boy here just babbling about something that isn't really something he can take credit for. And he's giving zero credit to ICE for actually cleaning up the neighborhood. Before we get going, let's just take a real quick look at Hey Jackass. Let's see, October today. We are October 14th. We've had 72 people shot in Chicago, and we've had 18 homicides inside of 14 days. 13 days, because today isn't counted. So, yeah, that's pretty good. Hey, there's a stat down. Okay, so every 4 minutes and change, somebody's shot in Chicago. Every 19, wow, that's coming down. 19 minutes, somebody is murdered in Chicago. By the time this video ends, you will have had one person lose their life to murder in Chicago. But, according to JB, everything's good. It's all good. It's all good. Now, there is a new, or at least I have not seen it previously. This is a statistic that I have not seen, and it is called the 2025 Shot in the Junk-O-Meter. So 31 people in Chicago have been shot in the junk. Ouch. That's terrible, terrible. So far, in September, you had 6 people. In July, you also had 6 people. People are just getting shot up everywhere, right? Oh, we have the selfie-o-meter. 23 people year to date have shot themselves. It's a whole lot of shooting. Here's that story. Former Chicago Police Superintendent Garry McCarthy mocked Illinois Democrat Governor J.B. Pritzker for a video in which he claimed to feel safe in a dangerous Chicago neighborhood after ICE and Trump cleaned out the criminals. I mean, you literally can't make this up. Hey, why is it so peaceful? Why has your murder rate declined so significantly? Well, because there's nothing going on here. No, not true. Not true. J.B. Pritzker today put out another video in Little Village talking about how safe he feels. McCarthy said when the governor put out his video, well, Little Village is primarily a Hispanic neighborhood in Chicago. That district is down about 55% so far this year in murder. Very violent crime. As violent as it gets, right? Game over. Well, where do you think ICE has been working in Chicago since January? Okay. I put the pieces together here. I know I'm a real estate guy, but I think I can formulate something. Yeah. It's not that hard to figure out, right? So J.B. Pritzker, what are you doing? You're taking credit for something that clearly Trump and ICE has had an impact on. In his video, Pritzker said he was freely walking around Little Village, no emergency, and he told Illinoisans that ICE has no right to take people away. If they're breaking the law, they do. And if they have broken the law, and if they are here illegally, then that is literally what ICE is tasked with, taking people away that have committed crimes. And criminal illegals, they fit into that. So the fact that murder is down 55%, not a shocker here. What is a shocker is that J.B. Pritzker thinks that the constituents of Illinois and Chicago specifically are so dumb that they can't figure out what's going on. Yeah, right? But McCarthy found the video to be hypocritical. Pritzker could feel safe in Little Village, the former top cop suggested, because ICE has already been working in the area and taken many criminals into custody, pointing out the irony of the situation. This is politics to the nth degree. I've been covering Portland a bunch, and Portland governor, Portland mayor, they've all put out videos. Everything's great here. I don't know what Trump's talking about. City's not on fire. And then you've got videos of business owners who've been broken into 14 straight times, and they're trying to figure out how they can make a go of it in Portland because you have criminal activity. You have homeless. You have whacked out homeless on drugs running the streets. It's not, I don't know if you know this, but that's not exactly conducive to bringing businesses in. You've got some of the highest vacancy rates, street-level retail vacancy rates in the United States in the financial district in downtown Portland. You've got entire areas that I walked 2 weekends ago, that where you came upon areas when you saw a store, you're like, hey, a store is open. Now, is this open? You can't really tell. You can't tell. There's so much stuff boarded up that you can't tell if it's closed or if it's boarded up to protect against Antifa and the far left ilk that runs Portland from yet another break-in, or some just absolute nut job walking by with a piece of rebar that's whacked out of his mind on meth or whatever, just going through and bashing windows. That's a common occurrence. And, businesses don't want to deal with that. They can't deal with that. They're too busy trying to just stay profitable so they can stay in business and pay the rent, let alone all this other nonsense. And Portland's got that going. Chicago's got that going. So ICE and other federal law enforcement agencies have been stepping up the pressure on the criminal element in the Windy City. ICE Border Patrol is stepping up their game in Chicago. Now, this woman decided, I know my rights, and she got yanked out of the car, as you do. So let's watch this young lady here. She basically does what I do, which is, hey, look at Hey Jackass Chicago. Here we go.
Hey, I have a list of some of the things that happened in Chicago from Friday till today. And people want to know if we need the National Guard. And this is not a full list of everything that happened in Chicago. So let's just take a look. From the south side to the north side, west, southeast, and downtown. We have a SWAT situation. On the west side, $100,000 worth of Louis Vuitton merchandise stolen.
Okay, all right.
Foot Locker broken into, rammed into with a vehicle. Forgot which location that was. 2 men shot southeast side, woman shot southeast side. Stabbing on the west side, break-in on the southwest side, double shooting inside a liquor store, west side, hostage SWAT situation on the southwest side, fighting on the southeast side, a woman stabbed in the stomach, southeast side, CTA train.
Metro.
A 5-year-old fatally shot on the southeast side. A robbery and a shooting on the north side. Man shot on the Sabo Lakeshore Drive, South Loop. And a shooting in the motel, southwest side. This is not everything that happened from Friday to today. And I'm pretty sure there's more. My sources, ABC News and the Citizen app.
That is great, right? I mean, just how about this? I mean, she's absolutely right, because all you got to do is pick up, even mainstream media can't really ignore these headlines. At least 58 people shot, 8 fatally during Labor Day weekend in Chicago. 58 people shot, 8 fatally, just in Labor Day weekend alone. But hey, let's go with J.B. Pritzker's assessment that everything's great, it's all fine, there's nothing going on here. But now you're going to see the stories about residents from Chicago saying, hey, we appreciate the National Guard being here. You're going to have that flipped narrative, right? From the standpoint of, oh, we don't want them here. Because Chicago, I think, wants the criminal illegals out because they understand, they get the whole concept that they're having to foot that bill. Taxpayers' dollars, one way or the other, are going to have to foot that bill. And so that's literally just kind of what's going on. And you've got a couple of videos here. We're not going to watch them, but these are people that are saying, hey, things are getting cleaned up here and there isn't as much movement. There isn't as much activity. There isn't as much shenanigans going on by any means. And then you've got Trump, the opposite end of the spectrum. Trump floats using Insurrection Act to combat Chicago crime, says Pritzker should beg for his help. What's really interesting is that, was it Memphis, Tennessee? Tennessee basically said, we can use the help. National Guard comes in. Hey, thanks for the help. Instead of this whole, oh, no, we don't believe in that. That doesn't fit the morals of our city like Portland and Chicago are doing. Well, and they're essentially saying, oh, no, we want the criminal illegals to remain in our community. We don't want people tossed from our community that have broken the law. We want them to stay right here because, Orange Man bad. That whole absolutely upside down crazy story, it's all politics, isn't it? It's just all politics because these governors, the whole Portland deal, you had Tina Kotek. She's the governor of Portland, or she's the governor of Oregon. And she basically did a walking tour miles away from the ICE center, showing just how peaceful Portland was. Well, that's not where all the nightly rioting is going on that Antifa's doing. So you can do that, but the only people who are going to believe that are, people who voted for Tina Kotek, people who voted left, Democrats. And that's who you've got running these big cities. And that's who consistently has voted politicians in Chicago as well. But now you've got this narrative where local politicians are taking credit for ICE being in their midst for months at a time now, since January. And they're saying, J.B. Pritzker is saying, there's nothing to see here. Well, that's because it's already been cleaned up, nut. It's already been cleaned up. You've already had the impact by having law enforcement basically sitting on top of that community for how long? How long? Oh, yeah, things simmered down. What a shocker. What a shocker, right? That community the violence has quelled and murder has dropped by 55%. I mean, it's mind-blowing to watch these politicians claim one thing, act and do another, and then what they put out, which is just a political ploy. And none has been more infamous in doing so than Portland, Oregon. And that's why I went down there and covered it, to see what's going on. Because the truth is always kind of somewhere in the middle. But what mainstream media is putting out on all of this stuff is it is so arguably left-sided. It just is. They're painting these individual people who are being deported as just the regular old family man from Maryland who beat his wife, had criminal charges 10 ways from Sunday, wasn't here legally, and yet mainstream media wants to paint him as a regular guy, just a dad in Maryland, right? That whole thing. And they won't show arrest after arrest, actual charges, any of the good stuff, because it doesn't fit the narrative. So the narrative here, J.B. Pritzker, all is fine. It's all good. But it's because ICE has already been there for how many months? Yeah. But let's not talk about that. I mean, mum's the word on that part, because it's so painfully obvious, right? So painfully obvious. But the politicians believe that you won't put together the fact that ICE has been there for months and months and months and months doing their thing. And that's why it's so safe. They are gambling on the fact that you don't have enough cognitive ability to go down a road of, why is it safe? Interesting. Okay. All right. Yeah. Use your brain. Use your mind. Kind of look around, read the room, and whatever these, politicians in the big blue liberal cities and big blue liberal states, whatever they say, question it. Because their agenda, yeah, it doesn't have the local constituents at heart. It does not have the safety of local constituents. They're not going there. They're not going there. And they prove it time and time and time and time and time again by letting criminals back onto the streets, by not tossing criminal illegals that should be booted out of here on deportation orders. They want to interfere with that. They don't want ICE to do that. Why not? I love criminals. I mean, look at Fentanyl Floyd. National hero. Convicted felon. Held a gun in a pregnant woman's belly. Yeah. Got popped for, floating a fake 20 with his drug dealer because he was trying to get some more fentanyl because he was a fentanyl addict. But let's not go there. All right. That's it for me on this one. Thanks so much for being here. I'll catch up with you in the next episode. Bye for now.